Welcome to Two Guys.
A girl.
and an MBA.
Who
Yep.
the heck is using this? And I think you know. And then sell me on why traditional, like I have a restaurant, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a high-end restaurant. Like, would I use this? And if the answer probably yes, tell me about why is it so successful?
Well, how's your high-end restaurant doing? I think
Well, it's a
that
startup.
matters.
Let's say a startup,
A
right? I got
You're
this
startup.
starting a
concept.
new
Yeah, yeah,
one. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Let's say it's a startup, right?
First of all, you don't waste time on the idea which doesn't work. You learn earlier. So when
Mhm.
you make the step one, then build and measure fast. You will get feedback from real user. Not you can assumption. You can make assumption. Oh, everyone will love it, but then after weeks, months of work, it doesn't work.
like dessert is a frog cake, and I'm like
Yeah,
excited by this frog cake, and I
you're
send it out there.
excited. It
And
doesn't
then
work.
it all comes back to the kitchen, and my big brain says, "Oh my God, they didn't like the frog cake?
Yeah, and
What's there not
moreover,
to like?"
if to make this cake you will need to buy some expensive equipment. You need to hire some chef, Michelin star level chef to make it, and you invest your money on the equipment,
Im
chef,
Imported frogs,
Imported frogs
important
from
frogs, which
brought
can
up
be
with
I don't
milk
know.
fed. Yeah, yeah.
high-end
And
High-end
frogs.
you
frogs.
invest, and you will
Yeah.
know feedback from customers only half of the year later. So
And then
maybe
you
better
lost all
to,
your money. Yeah, lost
yeah,
all your money. Yeah.
you start with
Interesting.
some A/B testing. You start with something small portion, which can be you can rent, or you can go to the some factory which of restaurant which already have equipment. You don't need to buy this equipment. You just come there and said, okay, let me create something, cook here, and take this small portion and
Yeah.
see the reaction.
Well,
Keeping
why I'm
keeping
asking,
your
well,
fixed costs down.
like
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching this series called The Bear, and he's starting this. He took a sloppy diner, and he's making it a high end. And I'm listening to the stuff he's serving, and I'm like, I would never eat that for like $100. And there's a lot of businesses out there where a founder will think they've got the world-saving thought in their brain, and they throw all their money into it, and they do it, and then it fails miserably because, like you said, they had the ideation right, they launched
Mm-hmm.
it, they built it. But then the next stage of like measuring it, they didn't measure anything or it got too late. And then all of a sudden you're in the hole, you're bankrupt, and you're living in your mom's basement. It's not
This
good.
is yeah,
I
this is a
think that's
lot.
one aspect of the measurement process too. It's hard to measure things sometimes. Yes, we can measure capital expenditures. You were talking about fixed costs, like, renting equipment versus buying it so that you can, test things out and not have to sink all this money in. But some things are harder to measure, like customer retention or customer satisfaction. Yes, you can measure them, but like some of the variables that you need to optimize in this process are qualitative, not quantitative. And so I think that's the challenge in it can be tough to measure some of these things, or even costly to measure. Okay, we can do surveys. Well,
Yeah.
focus groups cost money too, right? So
Yeah, but you know what? I think some people don't even want to measure. They want to
yeah,
live in the mystery, right? They're
Oh,
arrogant, they're
wing
scared,
it.
they don't want to measure, wing it. If it happens, great. And there's an emotional side to ask a customer, what did you think about this food? Like, I mean, I just came back from vacation and I'm getting surveys constantly. And they're asking me, okay, all the details because they're interested in being measured so they can use the data,
Yeah.
but they have to suspend like me giving them a 3 on 5 or 2 on 5 because their food sucked. Because you got to be able to be okay with that and say, yeah, the frog cake, seriously, 1-0. If I could give
Let's
zero, I would. I
let's
would
A/B the frog cake versus the frog pie. Which one
frog
was
pie.
better?
Yeah, well, yeah.
you
So
can you have to also have a control group, maybe traditional apple pie. So to
Yeah.
the
oh
frog pie,
yeah.
apple pie, and some honey pie, something or
Oh,
And
cheesecake.
that
okay.
now that's a great metaphor. So what you're doing is you're looking at existing businesses, products, and services that are already successful and measuring against them as a benchmark, right? Okay, so that
Yeah,
that's one that's
there
one
are
way to
a
make
few
it easier
tools
to
for
measure.
this lean measure, but the main thing is just you have an idea. It's like a strategy view. You challenge. You think, oh, it could works. Then you build it as a minimal viable product with minimal
Yeah.
resources, budget, and everything. So even time. So it's a project management triangle. Also, time, scope, resources. Resources is people, money, and everything. So of course, it should be small scope, small time, small amount of resources. don't make it like a year of preparing and build, and then measure, and then you back again. Okay, this doesn't work. So
What I'm hearing is that we should be spending most of our time in steps 3 and 4, that we should quickly ideate, quickly build, and then spend most of the time measuring and
I,
assessing and then pivoting back.
I think it's 30,
No?
33, 53, 53%. So it's like equal, because an ideation phase, it should be like idea, this is strategy challenge, and then smart goal. You need to understand, okay, how it's smart. So how you can measure it. How everything.
I think the ideation part, everybody's got ideas, right? I'm sitting around, I'm coming up with thousands of ideas. It's like no big
But
deal,
make
right?
it smart. Make it
Yeah,
smart.
but now you got to put it.
Specific measure.
Yes, you got to
Achieve.
put it in this
Yeah,
pipeline now and say, hey, let's build it out. Let's measure and now. But everybody's got ideas. It's like,
The idea doesn't even have to be smart. Like when Amazon launched the free, what was it, $25, over $25, and your shipping's free, that didn't seem smart. Like in Kuwait here, like nobody offers free shipping. Like if even within the country domestically, you got to pay like $3 to $6 to get a guy on a little motorcycle to come deliver you something. And like it just doesn't exist because they don't think it's a
yeah,
value add. They don't think it's smart. And so it was counterintuitive. Now we take it for granted and whatever because we know now the consumers, if you charge them $20 for the product plus $5 shipping, or you charge them 25 and give them free shipping, they prefer the second one, even though they should be indifferent. People don't like to pay for things in an itemized way. They psychologically they perceive a better value, right?
it's
And
true.
um, that's counterintuitive idea. And somebody, Bezos and whoever came up with it back in the
They
90s.
tried. They tried,
Yeah.
and they think, oh, it's an idea, it's a challenge, but we think it will work. They tried, and if it didn't work, they stopped free shipping. And personally, for myself, when I order something in online shop, I think, okay, free ship if I get $100, for instance.
Yeah.
I can add more product if I like this business, if I like products. Usually it's cosmetic or something. I can add this, and then okay, I need $10 to get the free shipping. I will add it because it's free shipping. I know it's
Yeah.
so
something
That's
free
exactly the
works.
behavior he was exploiting. And, it was counterintuitive. It wasn't even a good idea at the time, but that's what I was saying. I think you don't have to think too much about the idea and the build. Get straight into implementation, measuring, testing, and then pivoting if it doesn't work.
And
And
back
then
again with
and then
some
back again with
updates.
it. You don't have to spend a year on the idea, or like Guns N' Roses. You don't have to spend 20 years making one album, right?
yeah,
Chinese democracy.
I mean, it's the interesting about ideas is like this canvas. I asked you the question, why would I use it? And because full disclosure, I have used it and I hated it because it kind of slowed down my thinking and I didn't like it. But now, as you're walking me through it, I just realized it would have saved me a lot of grief if I had just done the work on that canvas and just walked it through all these steps and then ideated and did it the other way. And then I asked like, well, what's the benefit? Like you just named Amazon. I mean, all these tech companies who live in this culture of lean, they're the most profitable companies on planet Earth. They're the most. So yeah, does it work? I think it works, right? And that type of business thinking about how to ideate and minimum viable product, throw it out there, get the data is a proven business model because that's where the trillions of dollars are sitting right now in our economy, these companies. And they're doing it all the time.
True.
And they're replacing traditional businesses who just like dump it out there and hope it works, right? Like these restaurants. There's like, let's sell some frog cake. It should work because I like it. Well, I don't know if it's going to work, frog cake. So very interesting.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
let us
And
know in the comments what you think about lean operations. Thank you so much, Elena, for this 5-step
I'm a
processes.
convert. I've
I
converted.
am too. I'm getting ready to go break out that little blueprint that you're talking
Get
about
the
too. And
blueprint.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
please consider subscribing below.
Thank you for being with us. Please leave your comments, feedback, what you think about us, and see you in the next podcast. Bye.